Alright class, before we go ahead and start on the notes, this next unit is geometry. So first we're going to do similar figures and then after that quadrilaterals. So let's begin with similar figures. Make this quiet. Darn phone. Alright, so with similar figures, alright, if we look at these turtles, alright, congruent figures means they are exactly the same. Alright, they're the same thing. They're the exact same size. Congruent means they're exactly the same. We use this symbol for congruent. Notice how it has the equal sign and the little squiggly. That means they're exactly the same. For similar figures, we're going to have the same thing, but it's going to be a different size. So they're similar. They're almost the same because they're the same thing, but they are different sizes. For similar figures, we use a little squiggly. It's almost like a turned S for similar, okay? And they're almost the same. Same thing, but different size. So now if we get to our notes. So we just discussed that similar figures have the same shape, but they're going to be a different size. So similar figures are the same shape, but they are different sized. Okay? So if we look at these two triangles, we have triangle ABC and DEF. They are similar. Alright, now we have a few things that we need to know about similar triangles. Alright, really, really important. Corresponding angles. So those are matching angles. They are going to be congruent. Alright, remember congruent means that they equal each other. So corresponding angles equal each other. That means if angle A is, let's say, 60 degrees, then angle D, who matches angle A, also has to be 60 degrees. If angle C is 30, then angle F also has to be 30. So these angle measures, okay, the matching angles or corresponding angles are congruent. They equal each other. And do we remember what the angles inside of a triangle add up to? Question, question, question. Who knows? Yeah, 180 degrees. Okay? Now another important thing, or actually before we continue, let's look. So, using these two triangles, we know that they're similar. So that means, let's go ahead and list the corresponding angles. Angle A matches angle D. Okay, what about angle B? Who does angle B match? Yeah, angle B is going to match angle D. And again, instead of saying match, we say it corresponds, or they are congruent, because corresponding angles are congruent. And last, angle C corresponds with angle F. Okay? Next, let's talk about corresponding sides. So now it's not the angles, it's the sides. So if we look at AB, okay, who would that match with? That's what corresponding sides are. Corresponding sides are matching sides. Now, corresponding sides, they are not going to be congruent because these are not the same size, guys. Alright? Instead, they are proportional. Alright? They do not equal each other. They are proportional. Corresponding sides, matching sides are proportional, meaning that they make a proportion if we set one of those up. Alright, so let's get out our highlighters. Alright, AB. We need to be very, very careful, and we need to make sure that we go in a certain order. A matches D. Who does B match? B matches E. So we need to say that AB corresponds to DE. We would not be able to say ED, okay? Because order matters. If we say AB, we have to say DE. If I had said BA, then we would say ED, okay? we have to go in the same exact order here. It's very, very important. All right, next, let's look at BC. All right, so B and then C will match with, B matches with E, so we have to start with E, and then it goes to EF. Okay, so BC corresponds with EF. Okay, and again, order matters. If we had said CB, then we would have said FE. Okay? And then last, with our other highlighter, let's say they say AC. All right, well, AC, oops, let's use a different colored highlighter. AC is going to match with DF. And again, we have to go in the specific order. Okay? So again, corresponding angles, matching angles equal each other. They are congruent. And then corresponding sides are proportional. Because, duh, they're not congruent. They're different sizes, but we can set up a proportion. All right, let's look at this next example. We want to figure out which angles match which angles and which sides correspond to which sides. Now, trying to look at this, they do not look like they're set up exactly the same. Like we had these triangles. They were in the exact same position. Here, I can't tell just looking at the picture who matches who. And they don't show me with the angles who matches who either. Because sometimes what they'll do with the angles, let me show you in pen, what they'll do is they'll show us A matches D. B, to show that B is different, they'll give us 2 of these. So, oops, B and E match each other because they'll have 2. And then C will have 3 to show that it's different. And then C matches F. So go ahead and draw these so that we have that. But that's what they'll do with the angles to show who matches who. Now down here, they don't do that for us. So we can't tell who matches who. But they do give us something that we can use. They give us this statement right here, our similar statement. They tell us that quadrilateral FGHI is similar to quadrilateral JKLM. So if we look, that means F has to match J. So F, right here, corresponds or matches with J. If I continue, G matches with K. So G matches with K. All right, so in all honesty, if they ever give you this, you don't even have to look at the picture. I would ignore the picture. All right, so again, just look at this statement. So looking at this statement, let me go ahead and unhighlight it real quick. If they're asking who J, angle J, so remember that little squiggly with the equals means congruent. J, angle J is congruent to angle F, okay? And then if we're looking at K, K is the second one, so it's going to be the second one over here. So K has to match with G. Who's L going to match with? Yeah, L is the third, so L has to match or correspond with angle H. They are also congruent angles because angles are congruent, are matching angles. And then last, angle M goes with angle I. All right, next, they ask us about the sides. So if they say GH, and remember guys, order is very, 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 very important. So GH, G, and then H, we have to say K and then L. Okay, and now if we did use our highlighters and if we looked at that, GH, KL, we wouldn't have been able to tell just from the picture if it was KL or LK. So that's why it's so important that we use this. If they ever give us this, our similarity statement, who's similar to who, you absolutely have to use it. Okay? Next, they say Fi. So F and then I, the first one and then the last one. That's going to match with JM. Okay? Next, they say FG. Who would FG match with? Ha ha ha, don't make me laugh, JK. Right? So FG goes with JK. And then last, if they say IH, we would say ML. Perfect. All right, so again, if they ever give you a similarity statement, ignore whatever picture they give you. Don't even use that picture. All right, moving on. Next, all they give us is a similarity statement. They don't even give us a picture. So now they're giving us proportions. Remember, the corresponding sides, our matching sides are proportional, so we can set that up. So let's see. They have AB. Well, AB matches XY, so that's what they have. AB over XY. And then notice, guys, the triangle ABC, they have up top here. All right, the other triangle, it looks like they have it in the bottom. So again, we need to match. We need to be very organized. In the bottom on this side, we have XZ. So who matches XZ on triangle ABC? XZ, yeah. It's going to be AC. So that would be our proportion, okay? If we look on this one, we have CB, and then this time, notice, this is, on this side, it's all triangle ABC. It seems like this time, over on this side, it's XYZ. Now that's okay. Instead, they're matching going sideways, okay? So either one is fine. So CB, they're saying matches ZY, okay? So now who matches BA? BA would go with YZ, okay? Perfect. All right. Let's look at the next. Now, guys, if you notice, these two triangles, they are similar, but we are not given that similarity statement to use. Instead, it's turned, it's hard to tell who matches who. They're never going to do that to you, okay? They're going to give you a way to figure out who matches who. Notice, they give us the little arcs, okay? This one arc has to match this one arc. So that means that C and F both match, all right? Those angles correspond to one another. So angle C corresponds to angle F. They're going to equal each other also. Angle A. So angle A has two of them. So who has two of them over here? Yeah, angle D. So angle A and angle D correspond to one another or are congruent. Now they say DF. So side DF. So D and then F. All right, so we need to go from the 2, 1, it has 2 arcs, to 1 arc. All right, we need to be very, very good about matching that up. Okay, order matters. So the 2, 1 would be the A, and then the 1, 1 would be C. So that means DF has to match AC. And then last, guys, they're saying triangle BAC. So they're starting with B, the 3, 1. So that means we have to start with E. Then they go to A. A is the 2. So then they go to the 2, 1. All right, so we have to go to D next, and then they go to C. So we have to go to F next, okay? So BAC is similar to triangle EDF. Okay, again, order matters. You're using either your similarity statement or you're using what they tell us about the angles. All right, this next example, they tell us using the angles again, but instead of little arcs, we need to use our degrees. Because remember, corresponding angles are congruent. They're going to equal each other. as we can see, angle E and angle L are corresponding angles because they are congruent. Both of them are 102 degrees. Now remember, the angles in any triangle will always add up to what? 180 degrees. Exactly. So that means if we want to figure out the missing angle on this triangle, we're going to do 180 minus 102 minus 30. That means angle G is going to be 48. And if we look over here, N is also 48. So that means that G and N correspond with each other. All right, those are matching angles, which means they are also congruent angles. So angle G and N are congruent, and they're both going to equal 48 degrees. We already saw that E and L are 102, so E and L are congruent. Angle E and angle L are congruent, and they both equal 102. And then if we wanted to double check on that other missing angle, all right, angle M, so angle M would be 180 minus 102 minus 48, and we do get 30 for angle M. So you can write that in also. So 30, so angle M and angle F are congruent because they are both 30 degrees. So again, with these similar figures, we are either using the angles to tell who matches who, if they tell us, if they show us that, with either the numbers inside or the arcs, okay? If they don't give us that, but let's say they give us this, you have to use this statement, okay? And ignore the picture. So we're either using this and ignoring the picture, or we are using the little arcs, all right, if stuff looks like it could be turned. On this one, nothing looks turned, so we can actually just answer this one on problem 3. Go ahead and get started. Do 1 through 4. Get checked when you're done. Good luck. You got this.